Welcome to the ESI phone training for the ePhone3 and ePhone4X version 2 model phones presented by Preferred Data Voice Networks. You may have received a trifold handout getting started with the ePhone3 version 2 or ePhone4X version 2, which can also be found on our website at pdvn.net. You may have also received a customized instruction sheet for your company or agency on Preferred Data Voice Networks letterhead. The ePhone3 version 2 and the ePhone4X version 2 both have a screen with, you'll notice, 10 keys on either side, and it ends up being 45 buttons because this is a shift key. When idle, the screen will show the date and time, and your extension number will be on the top left. When you're on a call, it will show the incoming caller's caller ID and various states of call. At the bottom of the display, you will see icons for missed calls, and sometimes you'll see a number there, and then voicemail, and sometimes you'll see a number there. And you might also receive a notification on your display telling you have missed calls or a new voicemail message. To see and clear missed calls, you can press the call log button from your main screen. And from here, you can actually use your navigation keys to scroll to inbound calls, outbound calls, or missed, or forwarded if you had forwarded your phone. And then you can click on return to go back, or press on the return key to go back to the main screen. If you have any voicemail notifications, you'll be prompted to call the voicemail from the screen, or you can exit that prompt. To the left and right of the screen are the programmable feature keys. These keys can be programmed for a feature, extensions, or speed dial numbers. Like I mentioned, this button is a page jump, and it can jump you, and you can see here the number of the screen that you're viewing at the time. So 1, and you can jump to 2, 3, 4, 5. Initially, your phone may have some pre-programmed buttons here on the main screen, and then you'll be able to program the buttons on the other screen if you'd like, or we can assist with that. Just notify your admin. These buttons underneath the screen are called soft keys, and they show different options depending on how you're using the phone at the time. These are your navigation keys that you can use to navigate within the display, and then the middle button is an OK or select. The volume control keys are located here, and that will adjust the volume of the handset when you're on the handset, speaker when you're on the speaker, or when your phone is idle, the ring volume. To dial out, simply start dialing a number. If it's a frequently dialed number, you can use your navigation keys to go down and select that number. And the digits do not outpulse until you press dial or there's a timeout, so you can delete to go back if you misdialed. And then you can press dial, wait a minute, pick up the handset, or press the speaker. So now I'm on a call. I'm on speakerphone, and my microphone is located here under the phone. I can pick up the handset to go to handset, or I can press speaker and place the handset back in cradle to go back to talking on speaker. If you're using a headset, you'll most likely press the button on the headset itself. And there is a headset button, but it's only for certain types of headsets. If you'd like to mute yourself to the caller, you can press this mute button. It's located right above the voicemail button. It's a microphone with a line through it. And you'll notice this mute icon shows up on your screen to tell you that you're muted to the caller. So you can mute yourself on both handset and speaker. If you've muted yourself on speaker and pick up the handset, you're still muted to the caller, so you can press that. So if you're on a call on handset and someone walks into your office, you can mute yourself to the caller and unmute. It's great for conference calls or just if you're sitting on hold. To call another extension on the phone system, you're simply going to dial that extension user's extension number, and it'll ring to their phone, so you can press dial. And as I was showing you the call on the call logs, if you press the call log here, you can see actually calls to internal extensions as well as external calls. And if you have a button for that person, you can call them by using their button. Now I'm going to simulate an inbound call. So when you're receiving an inbound call, you'll see the inbound caller's caller ID, and you can press answer to answer, and you can take that call. So now I'm going to call in again. Okay, so when you receive a second call, you'll see on your screen, you hear actually a little beep in your ear or on the speaker, and you'll see on your screen the second call. So from here, you can answer the second call by pressing answer, and it automatically places your first caller on hold. If you want to put this caller on hold, you press hold, and then you're going to use resume to return to the call, and you can use your navigation keys here to select which call you want to return to. So I'm going to go back to the first call, resume, finish that conversation, end, and then I see my second call here, and I can press resume. So that's what 2 calls coming into your extension look like. Alright, you might want to program a button on your phone for other people. I call them people buttons. These buttons can be used to do one-touch call to intercom instead of having to dial their extension, one-touch transfer, the phone status just to see if they're on the phone or if they're in Do Not Disturb, and also a one-touch pickup. So to do that, you're going to press this page jump key to go to an available button, and you can press and hold that button. And then what you're going to do is use your navigation keys to go down to type, select memory key, subtype, and you're going to keep scrolling until you see BLFBXFR, which stands for blind transfer. Go down again. You can leave the line button alone. And then for the name, you're going to use the old style text method to enter the name. So the method of entering the numbers or letters is on this button. So if I press it, I can get some different options for entering. I prefer the uppercase and lowercase combo. So this is going to be for John, so I'm going to press the 5 for J, and it comes up with the J because it's the first letter. 6 for O, but I press it 3 times for the O. And then 4 is H, so I press it twice for that H. And then 6 again for N, but I only have to press it twice. That's old school texting. Scroll down one more time and enter that extension number. And then scroll down one more time and you can put in a pickup code, so then if you see that call ringing, you can enter a pickup code. Oops, sorry. So it needs to be *04 and then the same extension number. And then I say OK. I get a config OK, and then I go back to the home page. So from here, if I have a call, well, actually, let's just call the person. So I'm going to, when you're using the page jump, you can use the page jump at any time during your, either if your phone is idle or if you're on the call, it doesn't hurt anything. You're just jumping around to the views of your phone. So if you press if you're on your main screen and you want to see those people buttons, so now I have a button for John. When John is on a call, so John's making a call out right now. Okay, then his button just went red. Oh, he's off the call, so his button went green. If I want to call him, I just press his button, and then he can answer and we can have a conversation. If he's on a call, it will still ring, and he'll see the same indication of a second call that I showed you earlier, and he can elect to take your call or let you go to his voicemail or figure out that he's not going to talk to you at that time. Okay, so if you have a call, whoops, misdialed, so let's delete. I call my number a lot, so I'm just going to use my navigation key, scroll down to the number I've already dialed, and press OK to call it. Okay, so I've got this call for John. I'm just going to press his button. I hear a brief busy signal on my end indicating that the call has been transferred, and then John can elect whether he wants to take the call, and he gets an option to answer, forward, or reject. If he presses reject, it'll just go straight to his voicemail. He can press answer and take the call, handle it however he wants to do. And by the way, if he presses forward, he can enter another extension number and immediately send it to that other extension number.
Thank you for calling.
Okay, so now I'm receiving a call and I want to transfer it to an off-site number. So you have a couple of options here. There's a way to announce to the caller outside, say it's somebody's cell phone, that a call's for them and do they want to take it, and then you send it to them, and that's what I'm going to show you first. The second one is a three-way call where you would all be together on the call. So this is how to transfer to an off-site, say a cell phone number or somebody else that's at another location. You want to send this call. So we're going to do the XFIR. We're going to dial the second number. Okay. And then we're going to do dial. Right? Okay. So then that person answers, and you can talk to them and say, this is so-and-so calling you, and you know they want to have this information, or they want to talk to you, blah blah blah. And then if they say no, okay, you can say end and then resume that other call. But if you want to send it, you're going to press XFIR again here, and then you're out of the call and the two outside callers are together, so you're completely out of that loop. Okay. Okay, so now I've got a call coming in and I answer it, and I want to do a three-way call. So I'm going to press the conference here, dial the second number, and as soon as I press that conference or transfer, the caller is just hearing the on-hold music. Dial the second number, wait for them to answer, and then I can press conference again, and we're on a three-way call. You can hear on-hold music because I've got my first caller on hold there because it's all me. So we're on a three-way call with this phone, my phone, and on hold. So I'm going to press end. So I can press split and return to either one of the parties separately, or I could press end. But if I want to combine the two parties and I'm out of it, I'm going to do the transfer, not the conference. When your phone is idle, you'll see a DND button on your phone, and if you press it, that's do not disturb. So you'll notice the DND button lights in red here, or icon, and then up on the top of your screen you'll see a little red minus sign. When your phone is in DND, all the calls that are sent to your phone, either to a direct dial number or transferred to you, or any internal callers that call your extension, will go straight to voicemail. So to deactivate that, you're going to press the DND again. So John has pressed the DND on his phone, which is this one here, and this is his button, so it turned red, so I can tell that he's in do not disturb or unavailable because it's in red. Let's talk about call park. So if I have a call here, and I've already talked about hold. Hold is a great tool to put the caller on hold and then come back to the call at your own phone. But if you want to return to the call at someone else's extension, or if you have a call for someone else in the office and you don't want to send it to their phone because it's going to go to their voicemail, they really need to answer this call, or maybe they're just a really mobile person. You're going to press the park button here on your phone. It may not be exactly in the same spot, but it's labeled park, and it's typically on the first screen. So you press the park button, and then the system verbally tells you a number. The most common setup is 6900. So then it goes up from there, and that's your park orbits. So then you say, John, you have a call at 6900, and then John can go to any phone, including the phone that put the call on park, or his own phone, and dial 6900, which he's doing from over here, if you can see me, and access that call. I'm sorry, on this system it was 60. And access the call. So he's entering the park code and accessing the call, and you're out of the loop. If he does not pick up the parked call, it will recall back to your phone and let you know that it did not get accessed, and then you can let the caller know that he's not available, would they like to leave a message, etc. If you have a page button on your phone, you can press it. It's going to dial a little code, and then you can do a one-way page. You may have to press dial, but it's going to do a one-way page to every phone on the system. So it'll do a little, I don't know if you heard the little chirp chirp warning ring to tell the people, and then you're making a call. Hey everyone, donuts in the conference room, or whatever you want to tell them. Every phone has a call forwarding feature. So if you would like to forward your phone, you can forward it to another extension or to an outside number. If you forward to an outside number, please make sure that your system administrator has given approval. Call forwarding to outside numbers can sometimes utilize multiple trunks, and so it can utilize your trunking resources, and also we want our administrators to know what's going on with the calls here. So to activate your call forwarding, you're going to press the menu button on your phone, and then you're going to use your navigation keys to scroll over to features and the OK, and then you're going to use your button here. Well, it's the first one, call forward, and then select. Okay, and then you're going to select, you can just select the top line. It's usually going to say eSIP 1, and then from here you can decide if you want unconditional, busy, or no answer forwarding. Unconditional forward is synonymous to call forward always, so that would be like any call that's forwarded to your phone is immediately going to go to this external number that you set. Busy would be if you're on the phone, and no answer would be if you want your phone to ring a couple times, and then after X number of seconds go to your destination. Okay, so we're going to set it for unavailable. Okay, and I'm going to select that by pressing OK, and then I'm going to move to the right so that it says enabled. I'm going to go down one and forward it to this other extension on my phone system. However, you can put it in a either 7-digit or 10-digit number depending on how it would be dialed from your system. Go down, oh, you don't need to enter on or off codes. Okay, so we're going to say OK. It says config OK, and then return, and then return to go back to the main menu, and then I get an icon here on the top of my display indicating that my calls are forwarded. So then if this extension dials my extension 1000, it actually is forwarding, and it gives me a notice that it's being forwarded, and then I don't know if you can really see it, but this phone in the background is getting the call because I forwarded it to this phone. Okay. If I want to turn that forwarding off, and so that's a great notification that, oops, my phone's still forwarded. I didn't know my phone was forwarded. So I'm going to say OK here, and actually if you say OK, it brings up the call log, the forwarding calls, so you can see what you missed. So I'm going to do return, and then I'm going to go back to my menu and scroll over to features, select call forwarding and my number, unconditional, and then just move to the right and say disable and OK. If you want to go back to the menu and you don't want to push return a bunch of times, you can also just pick up and hang up the handset. Another common feature that people like to change is ringtones. So if you press the menu, and you can use your navigation buttons to go to basic, scroll down to ring, and then you can go to ring type, and you can actually listen to the different ringtones and choose the one that you like. I have to tell you, they're MIDI tones, so it's not too exciting, but it does give you some options there to change the ringtones. And again, you can adjust the volume here when your phone is idle, so you can adjust the volume of your ringtone there. Okay, setting up voicemail. When you initially set up get your phone, you need to set up your voicemail and put a greeting on there. So if you press this little envelope button, that's the quick dial to your voicemail, and then you can just say play. If it brings it up, it might have a message in there that it wants you to listen to, and it says enter your password. That's the same as your extension number initially, and pound. It tells you how many new and saved messages you have, and then you just press 0 for user options, 1 for greeting, 1 for unavailable greeting, and then typically I recommend pick up the handset. Hi, this is Melissa with Preferred Data Voice Networks. Please leave a message after the tone and I will return your call as soon as possible. Pound when you're done, 1 to accept. And she walks you through all this, and you're done. So now you've got a nice greeting set up there for yourself. Okay, so let's make a call. Okay, so if a caller comes in, if I press reject, that caller hears Here's my greeting, and they can leave a message. Test message, testing 1 2 3 4 testing. Okay. You'll notice when you have new messages, and also actually if you have any missed calls to your phone, this light will blink here. Just a little notification to tell you something's happened since you've been sitting at your desk. So here on the screen I can see a 1 next to the missed call icon, and then a 1 next to the voicemail icon. So if I press the voicemail and then play here on the right, it's going to call the voicemail. I enter my password, okay, and pound. I have a message. Okay, so I press 1 to hear my message. And you should have received a voicemail quick reference guide, but you can press 7 to delete. The quick reference guide tells you also how to record your name in your voicemail, record a temporary greeting like if you're out of town, and also change your password, and then some options for listening to your messages, including forwarding. You may also receive voicemail messages to your email if that is something that is set up and enabled on your system. So if that's the case, you'll see a voicemail to your email coming in as a WAV file. This concludes the phone training for the ESI ePhone 3 and ePhone 4X version 2. Thank you for your attention.